now that you guys have gone back to the live hitting, what's impressed you the most about the team once you've been able to get a look at them actually doing that for the first time this season?
Well, I don't know if a lot's impressed me necessarily. I think it's just become real evident the work that we needed to get done. Just the progression from the first day to the second day of doing it was pretty substantial. Every day we do it, and the improvement. It's extremely evident. And it's something that, just like if you're going through spring ball or preseason camp and you're doing it, you're getting better incrementally, and so a lot of the things that we didn't do well in that game against BYU showed up in the first time we go live, and so we're getting some things corrected. We desperately needed to do it. I think we're better already, but we're nowhere, in my opinion, where we need to be yet. But we're getting there. We're making strides.
Is it a clean slate? Is that the message you convey to them, that it's a clean slate now?
Yeah, I think so. I think that started with Coach Nehemiah. He kind of fell on a sword for everybody. But I wouldn't say it's a mulligan, because you can't look at it that way. We went out and got our rear ends beat, and so we're just doing everything we can to get that remedied and corrected, and we're taking the steps to do that. But this was much needed, for us coaches, but also for the players. They've got a different look in their eye now, and I think this is going to help us moving forward, just with confidence. Going out and playing and playing the way that we've always played here. Physical and tough, and running the football and all those kind of things. And so we got to get that back.
And does it make it a little bit easier for other guys to maybe prove themselves, or trying to fight their way up the depth chart to when they're going live now?
Yeah, I think that, there's a lot of guys that didn't get to compete in the spring, and because of the nature of the way we practiced up to this point, didn't really maybe have a fair shot to compete moving forward. And so I think now that, everybody's kind of competing for a job, that's the way that I wanted to approach it. And so, yeah, the competition's been good, and some guys have definitely made some strides. And so, yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction, that's for sure. So I'm excited about where we're going. A long way to go, though.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Wags.
Hey, Coach. So I guess following up on that, is there anybody in particular that maybe has shown better in live tackle practices as opposed to what you were doing before?
No, I don't know if anybody in particular necessarily. I think John Marshall's had a really good couple of days. We moved him over to striker, and so he's competing out there for that spot. I've been really pleased with him. And there's been some young guys, some freshmen that we've thrown in there that have done some good things. Max Mewson, Dalton Boswell, and they're at nose. And so, typically at this point, you had summertime to get a hold of those freshmen a little bit, and they get to practice. Well, with the way this thing went, they didn't get an opportunity to do anything. So we're trying to catch a lot of those guys up, and we need to, because we need that quality depth in there, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to provide some of that for us.
Marshall was one of the guys that did show up in the opener as far as making some tackles. I guess with two good safeties, you'd like to get him on the field, and striker is where you might be able to do that. Yeah,
well, you're always trying to get your best 11 on the field, however you can do that. And he played in dime. He was a starter at our adjuster spot, but then played the entirety of the fourth quarter against BYU, and I was really impressed. Going into that game, I hadn't seen him tackle live one time, and so to see him go throw his body around and make some tackles and be productive, and I think he's got a really, really bright future here. He's similar to Kevin and Evan, just plays hard, athletic, smart, all those kind of things, reliable. So I'm excited about John and where he's going.
Any body that upon reviewing the tape maybe graded out better than you might have thought, or did you pretty much mark it an F across the board?
Yeah. I think we marked it an F mostly across the board.
Right. So Tulane, can we talk about them a little bit? Obviously, the running game looks very good. The Spears kid is legit, speed, explosive, from what I understand, reading about him. And they got this Cam Carroll kid that I guess is a big 225-pounder. They put him on the goal line. He barrels in there for touchdowns. Can you talk about their running game first?
Yeah, well, I think that's where it all starts with them. They want to establish the run game. I think they're good up front. They're physical. They're well coached, and they've got a stable of running backs. And they've got three really, really good running backs, um, physical backs that can roll, break tackles, and they're gonna feature those guys in their game plan. And the quarterback has a cannon for an arm. He's athletic enough to do some things on his feet. I think there were a few passes where he was a little off target in the opener. You can tell maybe there's a little bit of rust there, but he played better as the game went along, and so I'm sure he's going to be improved, just like our guys are going to improve from week 1 to 2. And so I expect him to play well, and so we're gonna have our hands full. They're a really good offensive football team. Will Hall, their offensive coordinator, does a phenomenal job. Does a really good job of getting the ball to their best players, and so. I've got a lot of respect for Tulane and their coaching staff, and I think the players are really good.
So Willie kind of came from a zone option rushing background. That's what he did a lot of his previous stops. But I think Hall, I mean, he came over from Memphis, and I think he brought some of the Memphis offense with him. How much zone rushing, zone option running game are they doing, or how would you describe what Will Hall is doing offensively?
Yeah, well, he does a lot of different things. Some of the RPO stuff has elements of triple option in it. They do some quarterback run stuff. They get into the wing tee a little bit. They've got a package with that. They'll run the belly, which is a great offensive football play out of some different formations and personnel groupings. And, they get into a lot of different formations with different personnel groupings. So that's always a challenge. But they do a lot of different things, and they do them really well. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Yeah, that ought to be good for me for now.
Bill Bergman, do you have anything?
Yeah, Coach, just first off, what's been the message you guys have been preaching to the guys in practice this week?
Just stacking days, just trying to get a little bit better every day. And, I mean, every practice is critical for us at this point, just to make sure we're moving forward every day. And we're still trying to get in better football shape too, so and we had a hard practice yesterday. We're gonna have another physical practice today with a lot of volume, a lot of full speed reps. We're gonna go good on good against the offense, and then we're gonna have about a half hour versus Tulane and our scouts. And so it's gonna be an intense practice. The message has just been, hey, we got a long way to go. We got to keep getting better. I think they've embraced that, and I think we've made strides every day so far. I don't think there's any days we've gone out there and taken a step backwards or anything. So I've been pleased with their approach and pleased with the way that they've attacked it.
You guys are hitting the road for the first time this year. No fans in Tulane, but still first road trip, first time out of the confines of Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. What changes for you?
Nothing. I think we look at those as business trips. I think if anything, it's a chance for us to get away from the yard and get a little more focused and a little more dialed in. So I think our players like road trips. I know I do. I prefer to play at home, of course, but I don't. I look forward to these road games. I think our players do too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Summers, do you have anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. One more time through Scott Wyckoff. Good. Wags?
Yeah, I'll go. So what about you, Coach, mentally and recovering from the opener? I mean, last season you only had one game that went like this, and I remember distinctly how unhappy you were. I know this didn't sit well with you personally. You don't, no matter what the circumstances are, 55 points, the amount of yards, almost 600. That's not something you're accustomed to in your career, I don't believe. How have you bounced back personally?
Yeah, no, it was one of the worst butt whippings I've gotten in my coaching career, of course. But it hurts, it stings. I'm not a good loser, obviously, but you got to move forward and make the changes that you need to make, and you don't expect your kids to pout and let that linger on them. But at the same time, it adds a little bit of fuel to your fire. And I'm a competitor. I want to do well, and our players do too. And for me, I get this terrible taste in my mouth. It's like you had a bad meal, but you don't get to flush it down with water and take another bite of something until get to eat again. So I'm just ready to play another game, and I expect to see significant improvement. So I'm just ready to move on from it and just put it behind us. Wish you could take a mulligan in football. It's too bad you can't do that.
Right. What? So going back to what Scott was asking at the beginning, have you seen significant improvement since you started going good on good live contact? Have you seen a marketable improvement with the team, the defense?
Yeah, I think marketable is probably a good word. And it's not overwhelming improvement, and we've only done it for 4 or 5 days now. So, but it is significant. We're much farther along than we were, and you can see, like I said earlier, just the progress from one day to the next. It's just so much different, and there's just no substitute for going good on good and for going live. It just really isn't.
When you talked about playing a physical BYU offensive line, that's kind of Tulane's calling card, is that they like to wear people down. I think last year Navy built a lead and Tulane kind of rallied, if I recall, and that run game can wear down. They're pretty big up front. Coach Niemot said from the tape that that's what they did against South Alabama in the opener. They just kind of wore them down. Is that a concern? Is that something as you go into this game, you tell the players that this is 60-minute ball game, fellas?
Yeah. The Tulane game last year was really the first game where our tackling, missed tackles showed up in a big way. And you go back and look at the big run plays they had. It wasn't that we didn't fit things correctly. It was that we were just missing tackles. And you got to give their running backs credit for part of that. And part of it was we got a little bit tired. They did a little. They went fast, which they did against South Alabama in that fourth quarter. And so, we expect to see tempo. And our players know we can't just survive when they go tempo. We got to thrive in that environment. We got to focus on doing our job. And I think that was the first time that we kind of got exposed to that last year. And so those certain things certainly show up when you get tired, not fitting your gap. You get tired, you don't think quite as clearly. And so that's kind of the purpose of going tempo for an offense, get you out of position, get your eyes in the wrong place and those kind of things. So we got to be super dialed in to when they do start to go fast and do a much better job with that, which I fully expect them to do.
Coach, how's the team responded with the live practices now? I know a bunch of them must have been frustrated, of course, coming out of the loss, but also not being able to maybe show as much as they wanted in practice. How have they responded in the practices you've had so far?
They responded well. It's definitely a different game for us. Not having much contact, going into our first game of the season. That's definitely new for us. But our guys have adjusted to some getting used to, hitting again. Just the strain of your body, getting tired. So it's a different kind of way of being tired. Not just mainly running up and down the field, but also just injury every single pitch, trying to block somebody, the mental, all the kind of plays into it. So that first day was, it was taxing on our guys. It was kind of eye-opening. So let us know too that, wow, we're normally way past that, obviously, in a normal time, but they responded well. I'm looking forward to get back out there Saturday and hit some people.
Are you getting a sense of getting back to the normalcy of what a Navy offensive practice would be and should be?
Yes, it was fun, the competition, going against our defense, a lot of talking, a lot of chatter. It's just fun, it just feels good to play some regular football again, no bags, guys just getting after it. So our guys responded well. As coaches, we had fun. It felt pretty good. Now we got to put this work this week into action this Saturday.
What does it say about your offensive linemen who really were up against it in the game against BYU and hung in there and have come back to rally now and be able to prepare for Tulane?
They're all fighters. It's all our guys are that way. We went into the game and things didn't go well, but our kids didn't hang their head. And the biggest thing from that first game is no one quit. Our kids kept fighting in the second half down to the very, very last snap, and that's how we're built. And again, we just want to push on that and build on that and go into this next game and try to get a W. And
does this give you a little better sense of guys trying to fight for positions now that you can go normal in practice, that you're able maybe to see some things now that you might not have seen before and guys a little bit lower on the depth chart?
Yeah, exactly. Full speed reps, live reps, trying to hit a moving target, trying to block a moving target. A lot of things get exposed, but at the same time, a lot of good things happen too. So we're whatever happens bad, we always try to find the good things too. So again, a lot of guys are stepping up. A lot of guys are we're able to see what they can really do when things move fast. Some guys can process things real fast. Some guys can't. So again, it's a building process. We continue to work. Again, having last week off and building on 2 definitely helped us. You know, and going into this week with the same mindset. Go out there today, get after today. You know, then kind of peel back tomorrow and Thursday and get on a plane and go play Saturday.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Wags.
Ivan, can you talk a bit? Coach Ken said on his presser yesterday that going live, the first thing they found out is that the pushing and all that, just doing it every play, wears out the offensive lineman. And I guess maybe in talking to the lineman in the opener, that was the one thing they noticed that a couple series in, they're like, wow, I'm getting winded because we haven't been pushing on guys like that. Can you kind of maybe elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, it's I don't want to say the wrong thing, like it's simple physics or whatever, something like that. But when you're pushing against something, man, it's that's 300 pounds. That's tough. And again, it exerts a lot of energy from, you know, I mean, you're doing for a lineman who they hit people every single play of a football game. I think we ran somewhere in the 60s total snaps in that football game. You know, so when you're doing it every single snap and you haven't been doing it, it's definitely different. It's just going to affect you a different way. So again, shock to our guys' system, you know, but again, Coach Nehemiah said that we felt that we're doing for our guys the best thing for them going to this game. Best thing for our program and our kids' safety, you know, and we'll do it again. You know, but again, we just push through it. Again, it's a different kind of tired, but our guys have adjusted to it this week. We've been hitting the line, getting after it, you know, so they've kind of got their win back. Now it's just a matter of putting it all together and go out there on Saturday and find a way to get the W.
And obviously, it's going to be another challenge for the offensive line this Saturday because Tulane's good up front. They got looking at these 2 defensive ends, Johnson and Sample, are considered NFL prospects. Can you talk about that and also the fact that Tulane has tended to play your triple option as well as any other opponent just because of Willie's background and understanding of the system?
No, they're a very physical defense, and they're athletic, you know. So and they know what they're doing. So that's just a triple whammy, you know. Very physical, know what they're doing, and they're very athletic. So I'm not gonna get anything on these guys. We have gotten big plays over the pass against these guys. Nothing comes easy against them. In their defense, I think they lost maybe 1 guy from last year's defense, maybe 2 guys, but they're solid, man. They're solid. They play very, very well. They're glued in. They're keyed in. What they should be looking at. So it's going to be a challenge for us. Every single time we play these guys, it's a knockout battle. Again, so we have a plan. We're going to go in there on Saturday. We're going to execute it. We're going to block some people and make some plays.
We asked Coach Nehemiah about the Perry Olson situation, and he said that, you know, he wished Perry luck, but he also said he supported you, and they said you were honest with Perry. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit about what the discussion involved and how it ended up that he decided to transfer?
Well, it just comes down to, you know, in coaching, like anything else, you know, you put your best players on the football field and you have to be able to trust them to do right every single play to help you win football games. You know, and me and Perry have had open discussions this entire time while I've been here. And the thing I can say is that I've always been honest with him. You know, I've never, you know, sugarcoated anything. It was always honesty, you know, and when you make one good decision and you make two bad ones after that, you know, there's no consistency there. And that's what we've always talked about, you know, and again, if you can't trust the player to put them on the football field to do what's best for the football team every single play as a quarterback, you know, that's tough. As a QB, you have to be perfect as a quarterback. And that needs to be your mindset as a quarterback. The nature of the position is you have to be perfect or as close to as possibly can. I know you can be perfect, but at the same time, you got to strive to be that way. And so we discussed that, you know, and again, I haven't talked to him, you know, anything like that, but I hear that his decision was basically, you know, if coach can't trust me, then how can I play for someone like that? So, you know, I respect that, you know, I understand it, you know, I wish him the best of luck, you know, and then next man up.
So on that front, where do we stand? I mean, are you basically giving everybody a chance to go with the first huddle to see what they can do, or is it Dalen the unquestioned starter and you're looking for a backup? Where we stand, Ivin?
Well, right now we're just repping some guys, you know, and kind of see where we are. You know, hopefully we'll know by Thursday. You know, a lot of guys are getting reps. You know, they all look pretty solid out there. But again, getting in a football game and playing full speed, having guys come at you full speed, it's a different deal. You know, and I definitely understand that. So just trying our best to give these guys full speed reps, live looks, and we're doing that this week going against our defense as well. So again, I'm excited about this game. Excited about these guys that are fighting for positions. True competition. They're all vying for it, and we're excited about it.
So other than Dalen, I mean, can you say anything about what you see out of guys like Masai Maynor and Tiger Gosselin? I mean, I don't even know Xavier Arline. I've heard good things about the freshman kid, Xavier.
Tiger's been in the system. He's a junior, very, very sharp kid, solid football player. As he's very athletic. Masai can really throw the football. Good athlete, And Xavier, obviously, he has a lot of shake and bake, good football player. Obviously a great lacrosse player as well. So again, we have some guys back there, even Ty Lavatai, this guy there and got in reps too, So again, the cover's not bare, again, we're excited about it, and again, just going to continue to rep these guys and then go with the best guy on Saturday.
Thanks. That's it for me now. Thank you.
Bill Bergman.
Yeah, Coach, just going off that, fans know about Dalen, but they don't know about a lot of the other guys in the room. Just what can they know about this quarterback room this year and about these other people in it?
Yeah, they're just all competitors. They're all good kids, and that's what we try to recruit. Kids who understand our culture, understand our program. Again, the position of quarterback is different. It is. Obviously, again, I always tell these guys they were all, the guy at their high school, they were the man, they were the prom king, homecoming king, and all that kind of stuff, But when you come into a room where other guys are competing, only one guy can play. Only one guy can play, and that's the tough thing about the position that I have to deal with, and I understand that, Again, the thing that I can do is always be upfront and honest with them about where they stand in our offense and where they stand with me. Again, honesty is the best way you can be with them. They might not like it, but at the same time, you've been honest with them. So good kids, they're all solid football players, and again, we're going to continue to rep those guys this week. And when Saturday comes, I'm going to put the best guy out there to help us win the football game.
We were talking with Coach Newberry earlier, and he surprised me. He said that he really enjoys road trips. Do you enjoy going on the road? Do you have jitters before a game? Just what's it going to be like going on the road for you?
I've been here for a long time and been on a lot of road trips, We've always been a pretty good road team, and hopefully that holds up as we continue to move on with our program, going on the road and playing. Our guys get a chance to get away, get in a hotel and sleep, they love. As soon as they go on the bus to leave the yard, they're asleep, So they get a lot of rest, So that's always played into our, the way we play on the road. We always play well. So for me, I don't get any jitters. I just want to make sure that I got a clear mind. My guys are ready to play. They got a clear mind. The game plan is clear to those guys. And when the ball kicks off on Saturday, we can go out there and play, make great decisions, and try to win a football game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more time around. Scott, you have anything else? Wags, any follow-ups?
Well, yeah, I mean, with going back to the quarterback situation, I mean, you've been doing this a long time and you've got a lot of different guys ready. I mean, do you feel good about where you are? I mean, obviously the opener wasn't pretty, and now one guy that was in the mix is gone. I mean, you still feel good about the situation there, Coach?
Yeah, I feel good. It's always, again, it's I don't want to get into much about, Perio's decision and why he left and what it's going to do to us. Again, he's a great kid, tough kid, and I wish him the best of luck. Again, I respect his decision. He wants to be a quarterback. He wants to play, because he can't do that here. But for me, it's my job to get the next man ready. That's the reason why we recruit. You try to recruit good football players. So one guy goes down, the next man has to step up. So again, we got a pretty good solid room of good football players. And the main thing that I got to make sure that they're doing is making great decisions, executing the offense, getting us in the right play, getting the ball to the right person, and again, just not getting us beat.
And in terms of Dalen, I mean, have you seen some determination out of him to bounce back from the BYU game and show, now that you're in padded practices, to show you that he's better than what, you may have seen in the opener?
The good thing about Dalen is that he's being positive. So you got look at Dalen's situation. Dalen last year, was a junior. He got beat out. Dalen got beat out. So but Dalen just, he just kept his mouth shut. He just came back and then went to work. And again, we missed spring, but he came back in the fall camp and was determined to be a starter. He worked his butt off and he got there. So again, but he's just being really, really positive. And again, like I said, I don't expect him to be happy or anything like that. But at the same time, for his football team comes first. His team comes first. So he's being positive and helping out all the guys that are in there. with his experience. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that to see that from one of our seniors. And again, it's good for our program.
Thank you, Ivan. Appreciate it.
All right, my man. Appreciate it.
Anything else, Phil, on you? You
Yeah, Coach, quickly, we're talking with Nelson Smith tomorrow. Just what have you seen from him so far? How's he looking right now?
Looking great. And again, it's very positive. And again, I go back to Nelson's situation. Nelson, was a kid who was a starter last year, and then
there we go.
was a kid last year who was a starter. Then Jamil comes along and beats him out and becomes a starter. But Nelson didn't complain. Nelson kept his mouth shut, and went to work. So in this year, he's a steady. We got a steady 1-2 punch. So he's been practicing great, running physical. He's seeing things a lot more. Again, so I'm excited about that for him.